So I'm starting at 1 o'clock my time. That's 12 p.m. your time. I hope that we're actually live. I'm not sure, but I will just triple check with Emma. So I should be live now anyway. Okay, fab. So let me confirm that I am live. Hey guys, welcome to How to Retire Young, Rich and Early. It doesn't matter what age you are, that's absolutely irrelevant, but I'm very glad to have you here. My name is Hither Mann, and I've been very kindly invited to the Startup Scaleup Summit, and I think it's very exciting because if this year has taught us anything, and I'm sure you've met and watched so many incredible speakers on this summit, that it is clear we need to understand how to deal with online. You need to be able to make money yourself. You cannot rely on a job or an employment, because you know what, even if the employers are fantastic, we have to admit that even they are going through sort of the COVID recession as well. So as a business owner, they may not be able to afford you. And obviously with the furlough schemes in place, that has been made easier. But I have something better for you. And I've always believed in you have to make your own money alongside. If you have a job or you're contracting, then it's absolutely okay. But I really feel that you should be able to make your own money as well. So what I'm going to go through in this session is a very particular foundation to how to retire young and early. First of all, actually, I think it might be worth me mentioning to you guys, I'm going to assume that no one knows who I am. And I'm going to, because I don't know everybody and not everyone knows me. So I'm going to just quickly share a presentation whereby I'm just going to, let me just close that. So I'm using this fantastic software, which is going to help me loads. Okay, here we go. So I am just going to open up my window. I've got a very easy presentation. I'm just going to play it. So this is Fortune Academy Executive is kind of the conversation that we're going to be talking about. Fortune Academy is a company that I've founded, and I am the CEO since 2016. But I started in the education industry a long time ago, 2014, so a couple of years before that. And I am also a peak performance coach to Credit Suisse. That means Credit Suisse pay me to actually talk to their traders, the ones who are making up to 1 billion a year, and I have to get their head right. And that's why Fortune Academy's slogan is mindset before money, because many people come to me to be wealthy. That is my forte. That is, I teach you how to be wealthier. Okay, no matter what your background, that's my area of expertise. But mindset is overlooked, and I'm sure more entrepreneurs are getting savvy at understanding that you need the mindset before you're going to try and conquer money. So that's what I do, as well as teach you wealth creation. I give you mindset coaching. I'm going to do a combination of both and give you some sort of ideas of how you should navigate your life if you want to retire rich and early. And that's why I put Credit Suisse in, because believe it or not, I am their Wendy, I guess. If you watch Billions, you will know what someone who is there to fix someone's mindset in a very stressful environment. It is so, so powerful. And that is why I absolutely love the mindset before money approach. So I am also the world's first female trader, international speaker and trainer. And that is a statistic that I wish, and I know will, there are many other females now coming up the ranks, but when I started, I was a first female trader and speaker and trainer. So it was quite a big surprise to the industry to get a female talking about financial markets. So I've also been featured in many publications. I've also spoken at Regent's University, and I do a regular piece for, now I'm going to be talking at the university in Monaco as well for young aspiring individuals. So another set of places where I have been featured, Yahoo Finance actually featured me and my financial trading course as one of the best in the world. In 2020, we were the top 6, and mine was the only financial trading Forex product. Everybody else was different, and I have been featured in that. So I'm very, very proud of that. I have also been on the front cover of Monaco High Net Worth Individuals, like a fancy magazine. In fact, I have got some, I don't need to show you, but that's the cover. And I get called the Millionaire Mentor, and I actually get hired in by many CEOs. I have C-level executives, so CFOs of companies. I have fighter jet pilots. I have a hedge fund owner of 2 billion under management. gosh, I have so many directors of companies that are making multi millions in profit every year. So that is again, this is a mindset approach, because I believe very much that you cannot build wealth without having the right mindset. And I actually started growing up in a very traditional household. I wasn't wealthy, and that was my motivation, because it was very simple. I didn't see money growing up, but my God, my parents made it very clear that money was the only way out of this kind of poverty that I was growing up in. So I was very determined from a young age to be wealthy. I did do the ACE, I was an A grade student. So I went to university, I went to school, whatever, and I'm absolutely smashed every grade. I got A grades, but it doesn't teach you anything about money. So it's only when I realized that you have to do things your own way, and I learned from real mentors, people that came from different walks of life. That's why I do what I do at Fortune Academy. This is me speaking at the Northumberland Avenue venue in London near Trafalgar Square. Very, very flash event. I love it. I talk about what I'm speaking about today, but obviously different variations every time. And it's amazing. I love helping people from any background. And people really, I feel you learn more here in these kind of events than I ever did at university and school. But obviously not saying that we don't need education. It's just saying that money and how to be business savvy isn't taught in schools and education institutions as much as we like. So again, speaking at the IBIS Royal, I think it's Royal Earls Court, IBIS. So that was good. 1,000 people, again, at the same venue. My team, I have a variation of people. Now we don't have physical events, but this was one of the pictures we had at a physical event. It was super fun. We have lots of fun. We did regular events in London. I'm now doing a lot more in South of France and Monaco, where I've moved. But yeah, we are a lovely bunch of people. All of them, they have to be super mindset focused. Like if they don't have everyone I hire in my company to work with you guys are either my students who have come through the ranks and I think, you know what, you're great, you can help me build what mission we're on, but they have to have had an education kind of background. So that means like they're into self-development, they understand mindset, they understand wealth cannot be created unless you have the right mindset. So I love them, and one day you will meet them, whether it's virtually or in person, who knows. Anyway, I also do trading workshops. So one thing that I have been known for many times is how to teach people to make money themselves. Okay, so this is where financial trading is a huge thing. You need to be able to learn how to make money from money. Now that is something I've done very many times in London, Canary Wharf. Love these kind of programs, talk about it all the time. And this year, coronavirus was that big thing that everybody has been shocked by. And this is the best year in the world to have taken financial trading seriously. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop this share because I actually want to go back onto my flip chart and just show you exactly what I'm going to be talking about in more detail. So what you've seen there is just kind of a bit of a background of why I came into the financial industry. Well, actually, I didn't talk about that particular thing. My background is actually medical professional. So I started off as an optician, university, etc. And to be honest, as soon as I got into the job role of being an optician, I realized very quickly that this isn't my career. Like, this is too boring. I was very good at it. But when you work in a job, or if you're a contractor, you're paid an hourly rate or your daily rate or a monthly rate or whatever. And, that's it. It's very hard to get more flexibility. And I was on a mission to get my parents out of debt. Well, not so much debt, but just like get them a nice house and cars. They didn't have any assets. They didn't have any wealth. So I wanted to help them. So I was only 21 when I qualified and from university. And then, learning how to be an optician, it wasn't fun. So I very quickly went to events like this, but in physical form. And I learned how to build property portfolios. So my actual initial wave of wealth came from buying property cheap. So that's something that you can do anytime. I'm going to happily talk about. This is part of your how to retire rich sort of information you need, because property is one of the asset classes I believe in, and I want everyone to know how to build those kind of asset classes in the correct way. Then in 2008, and this is why I love 2020, because it's the year of a shock. It's the year of people taking things seriously. For the first time ever in 2008, I experienced a recession, 08, 09. And I had properties and they were on mortgages. And at the time, I thought, oh my God, if I didn't have cash in the bank, and I was somebody who was very clever with, because I'd done a lot of wealth education since 2004, that's when I started in business. I actually was cash rich as well as asset rich, whereas some of my colleagues in the property world were just blowing their cash, thinking that money is going to last forever because we're just killing it in the property field. And very quickly, when like this year happened back in 08, the mortgage rates went up a little bit. Some people, I can't remember exactly the scenario with the tenants, but ultimately I remember the mortgage rates went up. Okay, so that meant our mortgages as a landlord, I had to pay more to get, and some people were negative in cash flow. I wasn't, because I bought my properties cheap and my cash flow was always positive, but I also had cash in the bank. And that's what made me very interested in understanding, wow, this is a recession. This could have been ugly. And I love 2020 because this is your year to have these kind of conversations. Now we're nearly finished 2020. So I hope you've had that serious conversation and realized, well, what if I completely didn't have furlough? What if I had no money in the bank? What if the things could have got really ugly? So that's the year I actually walked into my office, which was me and my mortgage broker at the time. And for 9 months, we didn't have any property deals because no one was buying and selling properties. It's not like this year, it's completely different now. But that time, because it was a property crash, that industry was not doing anything. And I had no choice other than to think, how else can I make money? And what is completely I didn't enjoy tenants either. So because tenants are quite, can you imagine having loads of tenants? I've got a property portfolio of multi-millions in the UK. So I have many hundreds of tenants. I used to initially manage them all because I was only like 26 at the time, approximately. And I used to manage my tenants. I used to be the one picking up money, cash, or bringing them up saying, where's the rent this month? And it became very stressful because I'm a very hands-on person. I like to be able to do everything from the bottom up. But when it came to the point, I thought, wow, this is an opportunity. And 2020, guys, is an opportunity for you. You need to think, how can I make money without having to rely on a boss, or any other, tenants, whatever. So even tenants are not your safest option because they could quite easily say, I haven't got any money, I can't pay. Then what are you going to do? So you need to dig deep in your pockets. That's when I walked into my office one day and I came across my mortgage broker trading the financial markets. And that's when I got interested in Forex because I said, well, tell me the good news. What are you trying to make here? What is this industry? And I had no idea about the financial markets. He said, this is the world of Forex. And in Forex, which I will happily talk about, Forex is, actually, let's just do it. So Forex is called foreign exchange, okay? It is the industry where you guys, when you've ever traveled in the world before, you have changed one currency to the other. The beauty about Forex is that it is never one price. So if you had the euro against the dollar, this would be price, this is time. Over a period of time, you never ever get that straight line, okay? So what actually happens with Forex is that you get a whole movement of price. The market goes like this. And so the euro can go higher against the dollar, it can drop, etc. And the beauty is you can make money. You can make money when things are going good, you look to buy, you buy. And when things are going bad, you literally are just selling. So that is it's almost like a two option game. So it becomes very simple to understand the concepts of Forex. It's buy, sell, full stop. Now, that was what got me excited. So when I walked into the office, imagine this, the guy's on a laptop, 10:30 in the morning, and he's already made £880 using a 10 grand account. I never knew anything about risk, etc. So he made £880 by 10:30 in the morning. I thought, wow, that looks easy. I could do that every day. That's £1,000 a day. That's a minimum of 30K approximately. Okay, not 30 because you can't trade on the weekend. So I was thinking 20K or so a month. And that sounded easy because I would still have my businesses that were making me money, etc. But this is where I didn't understand the mindset behind something like this. And that's why I'm going to take you down a different route right now, because although this industry is amazing, I need to show you one more thing first. What you really, really need to pay attention to is the follows. the following. Okay, so this is called the tree of wealth. Of course, you knew that. It just looks like a tree. I know it's an awful diagram, but I came across this, I created my own version of it. I put that thing in there. But I actually came across this back in 2004 from a wealth coach. I was, speaking to a wealth coach, and they said, this is what we need. If you want to make money, you are focusing on the fruits of a tree. Most people, when they come to me and say, I want to be rich, I said, why? Because they want a nice house, and they want nice cars, they want nice things, they want to go on holidays, they want to just, they're thinking all about the things money can buy. And that's the fruits of a tree, okay? So these things. But simple question, can you have the fruits of a tree without the roots? And of course you can't, that's the problem. That's why 95% of people that start businesses, 95% of people that start Forex, stocks, anything, they fail. So it's no point me going straight into, okay, this is how you buy property. This is how you start Forex. This is how you buy companies, because that's all the things I do. And I take companies public now through IPOs. But I don't want to talk about that just yet, because I feel like there is a little bit of groundwork we need to do first. And the groundwork is the roots of a tree. So in the roots of the tree, and this is effectively what even people like Credit Suisse, the people that pay me to kind of be their peak performance coach, they don't even understand this concept. I even draw this tree out for them. So don't think that this is just for you. This is actually for every single client I've come across, whether they're a presidential candidate, whether they're ex-army paratrooper, whether they are of city, a Credit Suisse banker, whether they are a hedge fund owner of 2 billion. Like, these are the kind of clients I've got. And they all have to understand this concept first before I take them further into their actual peak performance coaching, or then let's start making more money, whether it's through IPO, etc. So let's cover these things. So first of all, the mindset is what I have created, the Millionaire Mindset Program. So Millionaire Mindset Program is where I cover all of these things that I'm going to discuss. So the Millionaire Mindset is actually all about 6 roots that we need to conquer. And the 6 different areas that we need to conquer are, well, I'll go through them because it's actually quite a strategic thing, but the areas that are affecting your subconscious, so people that actually we'll come back to all of this. Most people just go here, but they haven't got any of this. This is a lifetime process. Most people's roots are just that little, but I want you to forever build them. I'm going to tell you what those 6 areas are in a moment, but let's just focus on this. So if I said to you, this is your mind, then which part of it is your conscious? So conscious is the top and subconscious is the bottom. So unfortunately, when you're learning a brand new skill, you're putting all the information here, your new skills that you're buying courses from, you might be buying a brand new property course, you might be buying a brand new Forex course, or how to build an e-commerce site, or I don't know, whatever. But you are building your knowledge into this small area. You're cramming it at the very top. And which area makes all the final decisions about your wealth? It is actually here. So this is the area that we need to be most aware of. The subconscious is the area that we really need to work on. Okay, and this is the 6 areas. So number 1, I actually work on your subconscious and reprogram it. Okay, so I know I could spend ages talking about these 6 areas, but if we just very quickly talk about the subconscious, that is going to be affected by the parents you had, or lack of parenting, or your schooling, your academics, the kind of environment you grew up in, your religion, believe it or not, that's a big effect, your community, your culture, your uncle, aunt, anyone who was a very strong character, plus even your exposure to TV, the kind of media that you grew up absorbing, the kind of belief systems. If you are especially a young person nowadays, it depends so much on the social media that they're engaged with, the YouTubers they're watching, etc. That is how subconscious belief systems really come in. So there's a lot of work to be done here. The second thing is that most people want to make money, okay? And this is like a thermostat. So you may have seen this before, but if you are programmed to make just £2,000 a month, maybe you found that growing up that, oh my gosh, my parents earned 2,000 and that's like a big thing. And my neighbors have earned 1,800 growing up and they're like, oh, they've got like, you know, nice things. So £2,000 may be what you're conditioned from your subconscious to create as a norm. So when you learn a new skill, that could potentially make you £10,000 a month, but you have your thermostat set at this level because you haven't reprogrammed your subconscious. Then your financial thermostat's actually going to predetermine, just like a thermostat does in any room, it is going to completely crash and you're going to end up losing the money. So what happens is almost like, look at lottery winners. When they win the lottery, there is nobody that in the history of winning lotteries has maintained that wealth, because they're usually, unfortunately, people that haven't been able to earn that kind of money in their natural lives. So let alone when the same problem happens with inheritance. If you've had a surprise inheritance and you may have inherited a few million or $500,000 or whatever, if you are not a high earner to start with and you do zero work on your subconscious, then what happens is you will just end up blowing that money. Now that could go on things like liabilities. Okay, so liabilities, oh, I can't spell. Okay, there we go. Liabilities. Sorry, I'm thinking too many things at once. But effectively, it's like you've seen it all. I don't even need to tell you in terms of how you can blow money, because many people know how to make money and then blow it very quick. And unfortunately, it comes down to your subconscious. Okay, so that's just area 2. So this is your financial thermostat. And now there are 6 areas. I am not going to cover all of them, but I'll give you a mini series at the end of this. What I'll do is I'll give you an option to speak to my team, follow me on Instagram, which is @Hither Mann. So one thing you can do, if you want to figure out what these 6 areas are, find me on Instagram, look at my, contact my team. If you go on my Instagram, you can just click on contact, you get a WhatsApp number, you get email, and that goes straight to my team. Tell them you saw this, and they'll send you all the information you need in terms of, you know, here is the 6 areas that you need. We'll give you a mini video series on everything so you understand all these 6 areas because they're crucial. So now I'm going to take you back to the tree, okay? I have seen a question. I will answer that shortly, so very shortly. So this is the 6 areas. So if you understand all 3, I've just told you 1 and 2. There's 3, 4, 5, and 6, which I'm happy to give you if you follow my Instagram or Instagram, LinkedIn. Instagram is the easiest because I know that it's got all my team's details there. You can click on contact, you'll get answers, you'll get to my PA, Catherine, and she will just give you everything in terms of what you need, okay? Or if you'll book a free call with my team as well. So you can ask more about this because this is crucial. Now let's get to the rest. So I want to really get to the how do you actually make money? How do you make retirement like so wealthy? How do you retire rich? How do you retire early? That's what you really want to know, okay? So I'm just going to go through this. So on the basis, you work on this daily, absolutely every day. What will happen is the first thing that you grow in your tree is self-image. Now, self-image is so underrated. People think that working on yourself is almost like this, okay? The first thing is, do you even like yourself being wealthy? Sounds like a dumb question, but most people don't have a healthy relationship with money. They think that money might make them a greedy person, not very liked person. You know, it might mean I have less friends. It might mean I have less time for my family, relationships, blah, blah, blah. So that affects your self-image because you almost don't like yourself chasing money, you know, and I'm not asking you ever to chase money. I'm asking you work on yourself, have a healthy relationship with money, because that's everything. If you don't have a healthy relationship with money, then you'll never, ever be able to keep money ever. You'll be able to make it, but it will fall and slip through your hands very easily. So having a healthy self-image is key. And this is exactly why Credit Suisse bankers pay, or the directors of the bankers pay me to go into their offices in Geneva, in Switzerland, and I'm also doing it for a Monaco hedge fund. And literally, all I'm doing is fixing this. The money pit is easy then, okay? It's almost like it's guaranteed you're going to make money. So self-image is very key. You very much underestimate that. Then it comes to the wealth building. You need assets. Assets are things that are going to be, you know, assets, if I had to give you a definition, is very simple, is anything that increases value, okay, the value increases, or puts money into your pockets, okay? Gives you more value in money and goes up in monetary value. So you could get paid out by this. And a good asset often creates passive income. Okay, so a passive income or an income producing asset is something like property. Forex is also an asset. So most people, when they treat Forex, they don't understand how to treat it like an asset. And that's the difference between Fortune Academy. I teach you how to trade Forex safely. That means you're not blowing accounts, you're not doing anything reckless, you're not gambling in bottom line, and you create assets just like you would property, just like you could buy gold, but gold doesn't pay you dividends every month. If you're buying gold stock, it is just stock. Sometimes you can buy dividend paying stock, okay? But you have to understand asset classes. Most people, and especially very wealthy people, they invest in gold, art, antiques, because you can buy a small piece of art and it's worth so much more and is better than leaving your money in the bank. So having liquidity is important. For me, I'll tell you how it works when it comes to Forex business and how you can build your retirement and make it super, super easy. But understand asset class is super important. So Forex, property, gold, art pieces, antiques. The opposite are liabilities. So liabilities are things that we've all got. It could be fancy cars that are just pure liability. They're not going up in value. Some cars do, but they are not a liability in that case. But most cars are liabilities. Most things you buy, and then you'd be like, oh my gosh, have I got any assets in my life? Maybe you don't. And many people mistakenly think their own house is an asset. And of course, when you're living in your own house, paying off a mortgage, just think of it, the money is just going out. And that your own house is good if you can sell it in your lifetime. For example, now in COVID times, house prices are quite high because that is the last thing that will crash. So it is actually going to crash next year onwards, when you'll see the whole market crash, when the dollar crashes. And a crash is when you have a 30% drop in value. We haven't had that yet. So be warned, it's coming. The worst is yet to come. And that's why I really am keen to make sure you guys understand this, because many of you are just riding the wave of safety through the furlough scheme, through government aid, but that's actually designed to keep you poor. Because in the long run, if you don't get your money game together, then you are actually going to really suffer when it comes to next year onwards, when the property prices do crash, when the recession really kicks in, when the dollar price crashes, and that's the base currency of the world. So it does make a difference. So I can talk about this for a long time, but I'm going to try and compress all of my knowledge for today's presentation in a very small window. So I've got literally 15 minutes, so bear with me, guys. So asset classes, passive income. Passive income is super important. Passive income, how do you justify a liability? Well, I would say if you wanted to buy something, let's say you wanted to buy a Lamborghini, okay? And you were really obsessed, like, I want to work hard because I want a Lamborghini. And you know what, if that's going to make you work hard, then I'm not going to remove that from you. What I would say to you is create 10 passive income streams, or a minimum of 3 to pay for the Lamborghini. That make the assets pay for the Lamborghini, okay? So don't just try and buy the Lamborghini and then build assets, because you're just putting money into a liability. I want you to build the assets. So if you want nice things, you can do it, but make the assets pay for the liabilities. So it completely makes fun, which is why wealthy people have nice things, because they can afford to, because you're going to be cash positive. So let's say if one of the assets, in a property case or in a Forex case, it's very easy, because your Forex can pay for anything. If you know how to trade, you can create money from money, and that will pay for your bills if you have enough money, if you can handle the risk, etc. Simple case would be property. Let's imagine you wanted to buy a Lamborghini that costs £800 a month. I don't know, I'm just making it up, okay? And then you have to build 3 times the value. So 8 times 3, 2,400 in cash flow. Does that make sense? So you create the cash flow first. And if you want to be really good, make 10 times that. So you're always cash flow positive. And your Lamborghini or your fancy things, which will motivate you, I get it, will be like the small amount of your outgoings. Does that make sense? You can have all the nice stuff. Just understand assets, create passive income. Now, the last thing I want to cover on this tree is business. Most people think it's easy to create a business and they just kind of start, but business is actually very hard to get right. And that's why I want to help you guys, because I actually can help you in all of these areas. I help a lot of my students make a lot of asset classes. Obviously, if they're Forex traders, they get to learn that. Passive income, which means you're not spending your time actually cashing in. So that means you could make money while you sleep. You could make money while you're out having lunch. You could make money while you're flying across the world, because that's what passive means. It's just like people understand the simple thing about property rentals. They go into your bank. You don't have to do anything. There is a bit of work here, of course, but then it becomes passive. Okay. Now, business takes a lot longer to get passive because you have to systemize it. A business is only a business if it makes money when you're not physically there, or if you're physically not working in it. So it takes a longer time, but it's very good to have, because it is like, this is where the big money is as well. I don't know anyone super wealthy that doesn't own a business. So how are we going to retire rich and early? Well, we're going to go to it now. I am going to take questions. So I know I've got a couple of questions there. I see one question which I like. When do I want to retire? I'll be honest, I retired financially a while ago. I never want to retire mentally. That's why I keep doing new projects. I never think it's worth stopping. Is very scary for me, because I'm all about mental activation. I like learning. I like reading. I like constantly finding the next. That gives me the endorphin high, just constantly learning. So what I want you guys to do now, you could possibly be in one of these categories. You could be in a job. You could be a contractor. You could be a business owner, anything. You could be, gosh, what else could there be? A job, a contractor, a business owner, or self-employed, which I can say is the same, but, or unemployed. Okay, unemployed. So any one of those, this is a business or self-employed. Any one of these categories, you should, by all means, what are you doing with your money is my first question. Most people, when they get paid, the first thing that goes out is the bills. They pay you're living to pay bills. What I don't want you to do is, I want you to start putting your money into this is how I do it, okay? So when I get paid through businesses, through whatever, and I've done this since 2009 when I learned how to trade Forex from a trader in London. So I learned one-on-one from a trader in London. He was a hedge fund trader. And now I teach you guys how to do the same, because I feel like this is what's made me so flexible in life, okay? So any of my businesses that I get paid from, I will never leave it in a bank. So a bank is good if I don't know, is it really good? No, this should be a bank. I'll be very honest. I don't leave much money in the bank, because what's the point? Inflation is at an it's going to forever go up. They're printing so much money in the banking world that your money, if it's sitting there, 100K is worth less and less and less, okay? But what I would recommend you do is you learn to be your own bank manager. Forex can make you, if you trade safely, and my students trade very safely. I have been teaching Forex since 2014, and I've seen people make so many results that are so positive. I'll show you some of the results. And around about middle figure with low risk is 40% a year, which is higher than most properties, okay? So 40% a year is better than -% a year, which you're going to actually start paying the bank eventually to keep your money. So this is why it's better. You can pay your capital gains taxes from here, etc. This is so much more tax efficient than that. Then what I would say is you invest from there into your assets. Okay, so you will then build assets, whether it's property, whether it is businesses, whether it is IPOs, etc. Now that is how you constantly, if you're just paying bills first, this should be the last thing you pay. So all I'm going to say, I'm trying to keep it really simple, because actually making money is quite fun for everyone. I'm sure everyone's enjoyed making money in their lives, but the concept of retiring rich is a very simple case of you become your own money manager. So you don't rely on giving money to people to somehow make you wealthy. I hate those things where they say, oh, I'll give 25K to a fund manager and he'll make me wealthy. Well, believe it or not, that's not the case very often, and it's quite scary. So I want you guys to understand how to be your own bank manager. So you are becoming your own money manager, okay? So that's the key. That's why Forex is something that I love. And that's why Fortune Academy is primarily known at the very beginning. Oh, Hither Mann, she talks about how to trade Forex, because I said, if there's one skill I can teach people that is so valuable, is how to control their own money and make money grow. You don't need a boss. You don't need to be a business owner. You don't need to be a conversational person. You can be completely introverted. And some people don't like face-to-face negotiations. They don't like closing deals. They don't like tenants. They don't want to be part of a business. They don't want to employ people. Like, this is the most antisocial and yet the best way that you can currently make money. Okay, so you and your laptop, that's it. And it's powerful, or your Mac, or whatever, trading screens. You can have 5, 6, however many you want. I can teach you that. But once you start becoming good at that, and many of my students have had too much money. Let me show you some examples, okay? So I will show you examples of what actually has happened with my real life students. So they take Corona very seriously, okay? So let me just go from this slide. So what happens is, let's talk about how to retire rich and under 10 years. If you were using 100K on that 40K per annum, okay, 5% devaluation, comparing the two numbers between you trading and a bank, and I'm going with worst case scenario with the bank, okay? First year, 100K, we're working with 100K. 1 year, 1 year, 2, look, if you just traded 100K, by the way, I give my students up to 2 million through my trading fund. But look at that, in 10 years, 100K goes to 2,892,546. Compare your money if it was in a bank. Now, this is being very aggressive devaluation through a bank, but you get the idea, right? If your money's sitting, many people retire and think, oh yeah, I'm going to wait on my pension. Pensions are not going to pay out. They're not going to pay out. Plus, your money, you think that it's great to have money sitting in the bank. In 10 years, you haven't got much spending power. So it makes sense to really understand that. Let me show you how easy it is for people that have never traded before or have tried and failed, etc. Now, Stephen is a millionaire business owner. He does 5 million turnover. When he worked with me on the Millionaire Mindset program, he made an extra 50 million in 5 months. Remember, mindset before money, and that's how he did it. He also tried trading with other companies and lost, but with me, 30% in the first 5 months, okay? Chris is a beautiful, friendly, kindest man I've ever come across. He's an architect, very kind guy. He's my best results I've seen, 92% in 5 months, but he took high risk, so not everyone's going to make that. He started with me in 2017. Lina is one of my younger students. She's on the 200K trading fund that I have in place. She did 40% after 5 months. All of these results, by the way, we have we have actual trading logs, history, etc., which we're happy to provide anytime. Now, business owners, how this works. Now, I even help business coaches, okay? So this is Magdalena. She started with me in 2019, and look at what she said. Hello, Fortune Academy family. I would like to share with you my manifestation success. Last year at the retreat with Hither Mann, I set a financial goal to generate 50K a month. I hit that target in February. I just teach you how to do this stuff, okay? Like, I love making you guys into money-making machines. Just over 4 months after the goal-setting process, so doing all the 6 areas in the, in the tree of wealth, etc. I went to Cyprus this year, that was 2019, and I wanted to hit 100K a month, and I hit that target less than a month after the goal-setting process. And this is what I mean. Like, I have got CEOs that she was making 20K or under as a business owner and was struggling to get past that. I got her to 50K and then 100K a month, and now she's on 200K, but that's 2020. And this is another thing. She her VAT returns, like 3 years ago. First year she did 40, second year she did 90, third year I did 335. That's when I came along, by the way. 335K in a third year. And today, and she was looking at November 2019, third month of my 4th year, and I've already done over 120K. See, and that was like with me helping her, guiding her. We do lifetime coaching as well. So with Stephen, I took him to a billionaires ball. Like when you come into my millionaire mindset, I introduce you to billionaires. And that is the guy who used to own Phones for You. So John Caldwell. And now London, and this is why I came to Monaco. I do IPOs, okay? I've got a fully regulated Swiss and Cayman Island asset management fund, and I'm actually buying companies and taking them public. But what I started in 2008 has prepared me for the world's biggest financial crisis we will ever see, which is happening next year onwards, guys, okay? So I even have a whole course on this. It's called the Corona Crisis Camp. You know, it's very important, and that's why I can tell you everything I know because I'm an active business person. I'm currently working on the IPO projects in Monte Carlo, in Monaco. I have investors from Mayfair, Miami, Geneva, you know, and Moscow as well, and of course Monaco. So I have lots of people that I work with on an active basis, buying companies, taking them public. But I love giving you the basics, which is start from the tree of wealth, which is this, you know, like the 6 areas: assets, passive income, businesses. You need to have your self-image right. You need the 6 areas. If you want these 6 areas, you have to go to my Instagram at Hither Mann. I hope you can read my writing. It's all one word. And ask my team. Now, questions from Rajesh. Great presentation with loads of valuable content, and especially the idea about certainty. How do I attract my first client without a track record? And how do I stand out from the other coaches and consultants out there? Well, very good question. I would say to you, Rajesh, please give some of your services out for free. Do 5 clients for free, because we don't know how good your service is. So if I met you and you've never had a client and no testimonials, and notice that I don't ever talk about, look how great I am. I might have skill sets. Like I can create wealth. I've been wealthy for a long time, but that's not a reason why I would pay a coach, because I want to see, can this coach help me, and have they created results in anyone else? And the answer is, unless you've got proof that you can, it's like a football coach, you know, like a football coach is only as good as a team, the players. So I actually, if you've noticed, will only ever talk about, look at the student results that I've created, because that's what makes me valuable, not just because I'm rich, because anyone can be rich, but they can be a really shit teacher or coach or mentor. And that's not the person you want to pay. Okay. So you need to, whole coaching is a whole different ball game. So you need to have that in place. So find 5 people, do it for free, get them to give you a testimonial as an exchange for doing that for free. Milk the testimonials. If you are actually good at what you do, these people will rave about you, and you record them, put them on your website or your whatever. And I actually teach coaches. I coach coaches on how to do this. So more than happy to work with you. When am I planning to retire? Already mentioned that. So I really appreciate that, guys. I'm just very happy to kind of give you a few pieces of wisdom that I can. There is so much to talk about. Bottom line is, please just don't forget this thing exists, and I use it all my life. If I want to create more money, I have to ask myself, have I got the mindset to create that wealth? And it's not a simple case of just mindset. We have to talk about the 6 areas, which are, you know, the subconscious, the money, the reprogramming of your financial thermostat, plus all the 4 others. And they are so powerful. If you can understand those 6 areas, you literally become a money-making machine. So retiring rich and early will become the easiest thing you can do, because you will learn skills and they will actually turn to gold. It's better than just, if you haven't got this and you're spending money on coaching programs and stuff, then actually it's a waste of money. I actually have my team that train people, that I train my team to actually say no to people unless they come in with a coachable attitude, or if they're open to mindset coaching. Because if I don't see that approach, then I know I can't get the results. So I can help you. I'd love to work with you. Follow me on social media, and I will also make sure that if you guys interact with the virtual stand on this expo, on this virtual expo, then my team will come back to you with any questions you've got. Anyway, my time is up. I really enjoyed that. If you have any questions for me, again, I can't wait for the answers that I can give you. And yeah, like I'm on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye.